So I had to get from Phuket to Langkawi and then from Langkawi to Saigon. There are no non-stop flights for either of them, so when booking this travel, I led with, how the hell can I make 4 videos out of that? And the answer is, I couldn't. Not ones worth watching at least. So today is a little bit different. From Phuket to Langkawi via Kuala Lumpur, I flew economy. 1 normal seat, 1 exit row. From Langkawi to Saigon via Kuala Lumpur, I flew business. 1 normal seat, 1 bulkhead. So in today's video, we'll fast forward through the ground experience and focus on the 4 seats and their comforts, or lack thereof, and compare how onboard services range from domestic economy to international business. By the way, the price that I paid for these 4 flights, and every flight that I've ever flown on the channel, can always be found in that video's description. Let me welcome any of you that might be new to the channel. My name is Kevin. I'm here to give you a self-funded and honest look at some of the best, and some of the not so best, airlines and hotels in the world, which I've been bringing to you full-time for the past 4 years. Check out my hundreds of videos, scan the QR code, or click the link in the description to learn more about how I do things. Let's get to the airport. We are starting the day in Phuket, heading to their international airport. If you don't have any checked-in baggage, you could have a digital boarding pass and skip this part. But I collect the paper ones, so I went ahead, got my first 2 boarding passes, and then headed to the Coral Lounge to get a bit of work done. Malaysia Airlines in the past years has streamlined their fleet, and now all of their narrow-body planes are 737-800s or 737 MAX 8s. All with the same interiors thanks to a refurbishment program for their 800s, which should be wrapping up soon. So while I will admit that MH737 cabins are not the most exciting thing out there, there is something to be said for consistency. And frankly, in both economy and business, the retrofits are, in my opinion, far more comfortable than the old fit out with their maroon and purple seats. Here's our first bird of the video decked out in the One World livery. This first flight is the bog standard regular seat. I prefer these seats over the older ones simply because of legroom. I used to avoid MH in economy on their 737s because my knees would be pressed up against the seat in front of me, despite whatever they advertise their seat pitch to be. But you can see here, it's a comfortable 30 or 31 inches. Comfortable enough for a short flight at least. There are no in-flight monitors for any of the new cabins, but there is in-flight entertainment streamed to your device, which I'll show you later on. For now, let's get ready for spool up number 1. Regional international economy service is basic, but I think sufficient, and the crew were very efficient with the service, hardly stopping the cart as they came down the aisle. We had a mini chicken sandwich, a bottle of water, slice of cake, and peanuts. The sandwich was actually good, but that cake had the texture of an actual cheap sponge. Overall, let's go with a 7 out of 10. Kuala Lumpur is a unique airport to transit through since it's one of the few in Asia that deposit you directly into the terminal after an international flight. If you needed to connect to an international flight, you'd already be where you needed to go. Keep in mind that security for international flights here is at each gate in Terminal 1. For me, I needed to head downstairs, get stamped into the country, and quickly make my way to my next flight since my layover was just about an hour. For this flight, we have one of their standard 737-800s, and I'd be heading for the exit row. I love exit row seats for the extra legroom, but I'm noticing that more and more 737 exit row seats have detached, often smaller cushions for some reason. Sometimes just cut narrower, sometimes literally just floating on there. Never really understood why. For a short flight, they're fine. 5 hours, I'd probably be a little bit numb, on one side at least. Number 2. In-flight service on these short domestic flights is limited to a bottle of water and peanuts. You may be thinking, he's not going to rate peanuts, is he? Yes, he is, because peanuts from Malaysia and Singapore and Thailand are 300 times crunchier than the rest of the world, and I adore them. 11 out of 10. A beautiful landing in Langkawi with Southeast Asia's version of the Northern Lights. If you're enjoying the video and would like to support the channel, there are many ways that you can do so. A quick like on the video and subscribe helps videos with the algorithm. You could join my YouTube channel memberships to get early access to some videos and access to all of my community posts. Or you could check out my Patreon, where I post the most, and can help you out with any travel related questions. Whatever you do, thanks for doing it. It really is a beautiful livery with the black background. And here we are, magically ready to check in for our flight from, you guessed it, Langkawi to Kuala Lumpur. Today I'll be flying business class, and I access the Plaza Premium Lounge with my priority pass. Note though that this lounge is before security. The domestic terminal is one large room with all bus boarding gates, but without buses. They do have umbrellas when it rains, but I promise you, these gates are no fun when it rains, even with an umbrella. On board, I'm in the Bulkhead. The seats themselves are unique. I don't know of any other carrier that uses the same model, and they're comfortable enough, but there are two flaws to the seat, both of which I'll show you on the next flight. The legroom is okay, but unless you're pretty short, the leg rest is useless. It's more like moral support for your calves. But Malaysia Airlines does win the prize for the world's least practical cocktail table. Sometimes I honestly wonder if the seat designers have experienced turbulence before. Cold towels were passed around with pre-departure drinks. Keep in mind, all domestic and international flights under 3 hours are dry in business class. Number 3. For the bulkhead seats, your tray table has a little baby device holder. Fine for a phone, but definitely not for a tablet. With that, you can watch the content that can be streamed from their in-flight Wi-Fi for free for all on board. We also got a pillow on this leg. It gets the job done. For the meal service, I mean, don't knock it until you try it. Despite looking like one of the most boring meals on earth, those pot stickers were delicious. And I'd take this any day over many other small meals that I've had on airlines. Especially with that sambal on the side, an 8.2 out of 10. Bathrooms in economy are bare bones with a couple of products on offer in business. Okay, let's take a bit of a breather for a moment and enjoy this approach into KL. In my, 30 times landing here, I've never actually seen KL from the air. No less on such a beautifully clear day like today. Okay, now we're going to do that transit shuffle in reverse. Get stamped out of Malaysia here, head upstairs, and hit the regional Golden Lounge, Malaysia Airlines business class lounge. There's also a much bigger and arguably nicer lounge in the satellite terminal, which I used to regularly go to even if my flight was from here in the head house. But with that stupid train being refurbished still, it's not worth the time for the bus transfer. And bringing up the rear, we have a third row business class seat, and I can show you those two flaws that I was talking about as I enjoy my guava juice. The first one is, despite that there is no in-flight entertainment, the underseat storage area is cluttered with who knows what. Not only is the center section blocked off, which is, I guess, fairly common, but the height of the space under the seat in front of you is so low that my backpack couldn't even slide under it. and my bag fits easily in a standard personal item sizer. This means significantly less legroom for you if you keep your bag with you. The other flaw is the tablet or phone holder, which is just a lawsuit waiting to happen in my eyes. Pretend the menu is a tablet. It works fine, but as soon as your forward neighbor puts their seat back, your tablet or your phone will be in your lap, or in your food, or in your hot coffee. I only know this because that's exactly what happened to my iPad the first time that I ever flew on this seat. Anyway, number 4. On this flight, pillows and blankets were all waiting at each seat. The same pillow that you saw already, along with this thin fleece blanket. Here's the menu for the flight, today offering 3 choices. For the starter, we had a rice noodle salad with some questionably clean shrimp, and then, well, a plate of fairly delicious gloop, also known as classic beef stroganoff with fettuccine pasta and mixed vegetables. As long as you don't have any problems with textures and stuff, it was great. Saves time eating the pasta, gluing it all together. For dessert, a mango mousse, which was nice and tart. Overall, this meal gets a 5 out of 10. I know I might be the weird one here, but I prefer my noodles unglued, and well, I don't enjoy eating shrimp poo. I'll leave you with a beautiful approach over the Mekong River Delta. So these 4 flights, they didn't really change my opinion about Malaysia Airlines, but they did make me question the 7 ranking that I originally gave them. So I think I can safely say we can go for a 6. Nothing bad, but perhaps just a bit too generous to begin with. So I hope that you enjoyed this mishmash of 4 flights strung together. If you did, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss my weekly flight and resort videos. I'll see you next time from the Heritage Les Telfair in Mauritius. As always, thanks for watching until the end.